Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be giving you my Aquarius January 2020 horoscope forecast part 2 of 2. And yes, this does apply and pertain to the sun, moon, and ascendant. Anyway, people, first thing up is, as far as January goes, Mars will be in Scorpio from the 1st until the 3rd. So the 10th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. At this time, the situation with the dominant parent, which is often the father, people prominent ones, career, public image, reputation, maybe authority figures, even older people may be more contentious and acrimonious, more so than usual. And given we're talking about a Scorpio energy, there may be a lot of arguments that are associated with one's jealousy over another. There might be very passionate and intense battles with 10th house people. Also, too, it could be guard against vengeful, vindictive actions and anger at 10th house people at this time, such as the dominant parent, which is often the father, and people prominent in one's career. Now, at the same time, there could be a lot of energy and vitality into transformation of one's public image, reputation, one's career, or even Scorpio type careers at this time, such as locksmithing, the occult, astrology, supernatural, embalming, work as a surgeon, a coroner, anything that could be Scorpio related. And also, there's a lot of energy perhaps put into getting to the bottom of things, mysteries as far as your career matters go. The dominant parent, which is often the father, authority figures, anyone that could be a 10th house related. And if you're unattached at this time, Aquarius, you may connect with a Scorpio sun, moon, or ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Scorpio characteristics. And it could be for a sexual liaison, it might be somebody that might be in business. It might be somebody that might figure prominently your status, notoriety, recognition, or even in your career. So anyway, next thing up is, as far as January goes, Mars will be in Sagittarius from the 3rd until the 31st. So the 11th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, at this time, the situation with friends, acquaintances, people in groups, clubs, organizations may be more contentious and acrimonious, more so than usual, even stepchildren if applicable. There may be philosophical differences, arguments in connection with the law over religious issues at this time, higher education. At the same time, though, this could be a lot of exuberant, enthusiastic, very optimistic energy into pursuing one's future and their goals and their aspirations at this time. And it's also at this time as well, if you're unattached at this time, Aquarius, you may connect with a Sagittarius sun, moon, or ascendant person, or one that embodies those traits. And it may be somebody you might meet at a group, club, or organization. It might be through social networking, social media. It could even be someone at a group, club, or organization, or someone prominent in your goals and your aspirations at this time. And it also, too, this is about really taking action very positively at this time over in 11th house matters, and also energy into expanding perhaps one's goals, one's aspirations, going outside the box. Sagittarius, of course, is very expansive energy. And so anyway, well, the next thing up is Jupiter will still be in Capricorn, so the 12th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, as I've spoken about in previous videos, Jupiter can be rather paradoxical, could be very strongly benign and benevolent, but it could also have a tendency to enlarge and expand. Now, in some cases, this can enlarge and expand a self-righteous, reckless, even foolhardy, over-optimistic behavior in matters with one's limitations, one's restrictions, or I should say, I'm sorry, it could actually, Capricorn, not Sagittarius segment, this could enlarge and expand responsibilities, limitations, restrictions. It could be in one's private life, even despondent, depressive energy in matters with limitations, restrictions, and secret sorrows at this time. It could be even more depressive matters in really depressive energy in dealing with one's own restrictions and limitations at this time, or I should say secret sorrows. And also, it could be a time too where looking at this as well, your enthusiasm and exuberance might be a little bit more held back at this time, Aquarius, since we're talking about 12th house energy. And the thing about this too is, and Jupiter is about enlargement, so it could be about a time where the enlargement of really at this time of just coldness or even callousness at this time can be one's self-undoing. So guard against that overemphasis in those matters at this time. And also too, this could be about a lot of luck and fortune through being disciplined, perhaps in dealing with hidden adversaries, showing restraint, let those people make their mistakes and show the people that are actually hidden enemies that might be posing as friends to you at this time. And this could also be a time too where it could be very auspicious for it could be through some business connected with the 12th house at this time, such as something with the metaphysical, or which includes astrology, spirituality, something with photography, chemistry, anything, dancing, anything that could be 12th house related at this time. So anyway, next thing up, Saturn will still be in Capricorn, so the 12th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So this could manifest in a multitude of ways. This could be a very introspective and introverted time for you. I have Saturn in the 12th house natally. It could be a very reclusive period for you, Aquarius. In some cases, it could be that the fear of the unknown can put one in a state of trepidation at this time. Now, I know this could apply to anybody at any given point, but it could be more emphasized with this kind of a transit more so than most. And also, too, in some cases, sadly, this could also be about the loss or departure of a father or grandfather, an older person that might be prominent in your life scheme. Again, I have this placement natally, and I lost my father when I was 3 years old due to something cancerous, Hodgkin's disease. But what I'm saying could be rather isolated, but there's a little greater chance of this when you have a transit like this at this time, Aquarius. So anyway, could also be about working very laboriously, very consistent in solitude and seclusion at this time, and giving really a lot of, it could be a lot of hard work in helping those less fortunate than yourself, such as the impoverished, the oppressed, the homeless, and the hungry at this time as well. And you may be bearing your sorrows more secretively at this time, given that Saturn can be about sad, despondent energy, and of course the 12th house is about solitude and seclusion and private matters. So those are some ways that this could manifest and pan out for you at this time, Aquarius. And also this is a time too where you could be dealing with risks through treachery at this time. So just be careful about dealing with betrayal, whether it might be connected with you or maybe somebody else toward you. So anyway, well, next thing up is Uranus will be in Taurus, so the 4th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, Aquarius, this could manifest in a number of ways. You might, it could be in some cases where you might be dealing with more unusual, stubborn, obstinate behavior from a home or family member, someone you're prominent in your home family life. It could be someone you're close to home with. Guard against, and there could be a greater proclivity toward electric shocks or electrocution in the home at this time. So just be careful if you're doing any wiring, taking your precautions, wearing the appropriate gloves, or taking the right precautions if necessary. And also too, this could be a time where your home life at this time may be a little bit more erratic and sporadic. You may be going through a number of moves, as the Uranus energy could be about instability. I have this right now in my progressed chart, and I've moved a number of times, too many to count at this time, during that time that Uranus has been in my progressed chart, Uranus being in my 4th house in my progressed chart. Could also be positive, perhaps, for doing something Uranus out of the home, such as astrology, astronomy, something with aerospace. It could be something with innovation, computers, electronics. Also, this could be a time where you might be expressing some rather Uranus, more Uranus qualities at the core. I mean, Aquarius already is expressing Aquarian-like qualities, but Uranus might even add to this since we're talking about the fourth house and who you are at the core. So it could be expressing even more ingenuity, even more innovation, eclectic energy, being unorthodox, unconventional, anything Uranus Aquarius related. Um, and also, this could be about something shocking that you might find when you're going through your roots and your ancestry at this time, something completely unanticipated out of the blue. So anyway, hold on a moment. Hey, sorry about that, I'm back. But anyway, well, next thing up is Neptune will still be in Pisces, so the second house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, well, your financial outlook may be a little bit more nebulous and unclear than usual, Aquarius. This could be you have to be careful this time dealing with some kind of deceptive or duplicitous financial dealings, not necessarily due to you, but dealing with people that are frauds, and you have to be careful of financial schemes, people trying to con you to get your money and not delivering anything in return at this time. So those are some ways this could manifest and pan out. Could also be about dealing with really people that are nebulous and unclear at the place you generate income. It could be some disappearance of your possessions at this time, and maybe your resources and possessions might be dissipating and dissolving. I could say dissolving assets, but I'm just being flippant, of course, people. But at the same time, it could also be a little bit about your self-esteem and your self-worth. You're really a bit unclear maybe regarding that, or maybe in regards to how to improve it at this time. And also too, on a positive end, this could be about doing something Neptune related as far as making money. It could be doing something with poetry, dancing, the metaphysical, which includes astrology. Something with pharmaceutical work. It could be doing something with photography, chemistry, anything, something with special effects, something with fantasy, such as writing fantasy novels. And especially if this, say, you have some aspects that can support this, reaffirm this. I mean, if you're getting, like, say, this transit is making a sextile trine to your natal Mercury, that can increase that propensity for making money through some kind of fantasy or fiction writing at this time. So, and also about how it could be a lot of self-sacrificing energy in terms of your possessions and money at this time. So anyway, last but not least, Pluto will be in Capricorn, so the 12th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, a lot of you don't want me to say the dreaded D word, but I'm going to anyway. This could be about dealing, it could be power struggles with, well, actually, I'm going to talk about going back to the dreaded D word. I know a lot of you don't want me to, talk about this, but I'm going to anyway. In some cases, this could be the actual literal death of an aunt or an uncle, someone prominent in your private life in some cases. This could be something too where someone's death might be really tied into your secret sorrows at this time as well. And remember that just be guarded against really being overly controlling at this time might be tied into oneself undoing at this time. But at the same time, this could also be about doing something Plutonian related in solitude and seclusion, such as something with astrology, the occult, supernatural. Maybe there's some recycling you're doing, or something connected with transformation, such as rebuilding vehicles, or it could even be recycling, or even doing something for yourself, such as working out vigorously, transforming yourself at this time. So those are some ways that this could manifest and pan out. And also too, Pluto is about power, so maybe this could be about at a time gaining power in some cases over hidden adversaries, and also too can also be about Plutonian hidden adversaries, such as people in the astrology, the occult, supernatural, somebody maybe with surgery, or somebody in insurance, anything that could be Plutonian related. So this could give maybe some clues if you're suspicious of somebody really being hidden adversary that might be posing as a friend at this time. And remember too, people, Pluto can also be about where we expect infallibility. So guard against expecting infallibility from an aunt or an uncle, someone prominent in your private life, or people that you may know well that are less fortunate than yourself, such as the impoverished, the oppressed, the homeless, and the hungry. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for my Aquarius January 2020 horoscope forecast, part 2 of 2. Stay tuned next time where I'll be giving you my Pisces January 2020 horoscope forecast, part 1 of 2. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.